वसुदेवपुत्रं श्रवणरूपं मन्दहासं श्रीकृष्णं भजे श्रीरादिशेषानन्दशयनं पूर्णचन्द्रनिभाषणं यमुनातीरं लीलाविनोदं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं वसुदेवपुत्रं श्रवणरूपं मन्दहासं श्रीकृष्णं भजे कृष्ण वसुदेवपुत्रं श्रवणरूपं मन्दहासं श्रीकृष्णं भजे श्रीरादिशेषानन्दशयनं पूर्णचन्द्रनिभाषणं यमुनातीरं लीलाविनोदं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं कृष्ण कृष्ण
It did not take Kamsa long to figure out that Krishna was his dreaded nephew since his birth coincided with that of Devaki's child.
Putana! Putana! Go out and kill every child born in the month of Shravan!
Yes, Your Majesty. Putana disappeared from the court of Kamsa and went to each and every village, killing every newborn baby. Meanwhile, in Gokul, every house was decorated as people were happy for their chief Nanda Gopal's child. Putana heard the news about the birth of Krishna and planned to kill him too. She disguised herself as a young Gopika and visited the house of Yashoda to see her baby son. Yashoda, what do you want? Nothing. I just came to see your son Krishna. Ah, here he is playing in the cradle. Yashoda, seeing her beauty, let her play with Krishna. As Putana played with Krishna, Yashoda engaged herself in household duties. After some time, Putana looked around. It so happened that nobody was nearby. She lifted the child from the cradle and taking him in her arms, she slipped out of the house and moved to the outskirts of Gokul. She was already prepared to kill the baby with her breast smeared in poison. But little Krishna started sucking her very life. It caused so much pain to the huge demoness that she shrieked out, "Enough! Enough! Leave me! Leave me!" She tried hard to free herself from Krishna, but she couldn't. With a terrific cry, Putana fell down dead. The loud cry shook the whole village. Yashoda came out and noticed that Krishna was missing in his cradle and ran out to the place. Krishna! Krishna! Who is this demoness? Guess she's the same demoness who kills small babies. It's a good thing someone killed her. Oh, Krishna! I will never leave you alone, even for a moment. Yashoda took the child in her arms, and Krishna was laughing and playing in her arms as though nothing had happened. The end of Putana shocked Kamsa's court. Kamsa and his evil ministers couldn't believe the message.
Oh king, the demise of Putana is unbelievable. Who could kill a huge demoness like her?
Yes, but now it's clear that our enemy is in Gokul.
So Kamsa tried desperately to find a way to get rid of Krishna. And then he hit upon a plan.
Trinavarth!
Suddenly, with a gust of whirling wind, the evil spirit appeared in the court. It was none other than Trinavarth.
Yes, Your Majesty. Trinavarth, go to Gokul and find out who's responsible for the death of Putana and destroy him! As you order, Your Majesty.
Back in Gokul, Yashoda was busy in her household chores and she left baby Krishna in the courtyard all by himself. Just then, the demon Trinavarth appeared in the form of a whirlwind and flew away with the child. Yashoda couldn't believe her eyes and started shouting for help. Krishna! 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 Please, please somebody help Krishna. He's being carried by wind. Krishna! Krishna! But of no use, Trinavarth rose very high into the sky. He planned to carry the child as high as possible and then dash it to the ground.
Oh, so you are Krishna. It seems all the people in Gokul praise you and you were there when Putana was killed. It seems you had something to do with it. I am going to kill you now.
But little Krishna was becoming heavier and heavier. The demon felt as if he was carrying a heavy mountain. Krishna! Krishna! The child squeezed the neck of the demon and choked him to death. The gopis saw a huge body of the demon stretched on the ground. Yashoda came to the place and searched for her little Krishna. But Krishna was playing on the demon's chest as if nothing had happened. Yashoda took her child immediately.
My dear friends, day by day, the safety of the people and the herds are decreasing in our place. So it is better that we migrate to some other place.
But where shall we go?
There is a beautiful place called Vrindavan at the foot of the hill Govardhan. I suggest that we graze our herds in the grass that surrounds the hill.
Everyone welcomed their chief Nandagopal's plan to move to Vrindavan. The next day, they sorted out their belongings and loaded them in carts. And after a long journey, they reached Vrindavan. The days passed merrily in Vrindavan. Meanwhile, Kamsa came to know all about little Krishna and his magical abilities. He was now sure that he was not fighting any ordinary child. Kamsa felt he must destroy Krishna while he was still a small child. He decided to send Putana's brother Bakasur to kill Krishna.
Bakasur, you have to avenge the person who killed your sister. I'm waiting for it, Master. Who is he, and where can I find him? His name is Krishna and he lives in Vrindavan. I want you to kill him immediately. Don't worry, Master. It'll be my pleasure to kill Krishna.
On learning who killed his sister, Bakasur got enraged and flew to Vrindavan. Krishna, his brother Balram, and their friends were given calves which they took for grazing along the banks of the river Yamuna. After long hours of grazing and having fun, they all went near the lake to quench their thirst. There, they saw a huge crane with an enormous beak standing on one leg. The kids got terrified. Krishna got suspicious.
Friends, I don't think that's an ordinary crane. So you better stay away from it and let me check. But Krishna, please be careful. We don't want you to get hurt.
Hey, don't worry. Nothing will happen to Krishna. Krishna, you go check it out. We can't let this dangerous crane live around here. It might harm our herds and villagers.
Krishna just smiled at his friends and ran toward the crane. The bird waited patiently as the little boy advanced towards it. When Krishna reached the crane, all of a sudden, he was just grabbed into its beak and swallowed. Krishna turned himself into a ball of fire and started to burn the throat of the crane. Unable to withstand the heat, the crane spat him out, coughing. But the crane ran after Krishna and attacked him with its sharp beak. Krishna quickly caught hold of the beak and forcibly pulled it open. He placed his left leg on the lower part and with his hands tore the bird apart, and Bakasur died. The boys were overwhelmed with wonder and joy. Narada, the divine sage, once visited Satyaloka, the abode of Brahma, the creator.
Narayana, Narayana. Oh Brahmadev, Krishna's Leelas is a joy to watch. I can go on for days and days talking about Krishna's Leelas. Narayana.
Brahma, who couldn't withstand the talks of Narada, wanted to play a trick on Krishna and test his powers. One day, little Krishna and his cowherd friends went to the forest on a picnic with their calves. After playing for a long time, they felt hungry.
Look, that place in the riverbank is so beautiful. We should sit there and eat.
All the boys sat around Krishna and opened their lunch packs with great excitement. Joking and laughing loudly, the boys had great fun eating. They forgot all about their calves. One of the boys suddenly noticed that the calves were not in sight.
Where are the calves?
They might have entered the deep forest.
Don't worry, my friends. I shall go and bring back our calves. Carry on with your lunch.
When Krishna could not find the calves anywhere, he returned to the spot where he had been with his friends. But to his amazement, there was no one there. After a little meditation, he came to know that this was the mischief of Brahma. He understood everything. He smiled to himself and said,
So this is Brahma's game. I can play an even better game.
Krishna didn't make any effort to release his friends and his calves. Instead, he multiplied himself and took the forms of his friends and calves. These forms of the Lord were so perfect that nobody could find out any difference. Once the multi-formed Krishna returned to Vrindavan, the gopis too failed to discover that the children were all Krishna. They found more joy in feeding the children and fondling them. Brahma came to Vrindavan again to see how his trick had worked. He was taken aback to see all the boys and calves.
How is this possible? All the boys and calves I removed are even now sleeping in the cave where I have hidden them. How is it then they are all here with Krishna?
All the time, Krishna was observing Brahma's confusion. At last, he took pity on him and made him understand the mystery. Now, when Brahma looked at the calves and boys who were moving about with Krishna, he saw several Krishnas. They were neither boys nor calves, but only Krishna.
My lord, your powers are much more greater than mine. I know now that it is impossible to fully know your powers, and I humbly accept my defeat.
Krishna blessed Brahma and he returned to heaven. And all the divine forms of Krishna boys and Krishna calves vanished. All the boys and calves returned to their previous position from which Brahma had picked them. But he had cast a spell on them, as a result of which they didn't remember anything that had happened. Vrindavan looked not like a forest growing wild, but more like an enchanted garden. Spring seemed to stay eternally in this wonderful forest. The enchanting beauty of the forests of Vrindavan were also because of Krishna. Everywhere he went, he seemed to spread magic. Krishna and Balram were having lots of fun. The cows were gentle creatures, and there was no great difficulty in taking them to the green pastures and bringing them back after a day of grazing. But even in Vrindavan, there was one place that the children avoided. This was a part of Vrindavan called Talavana. Talavana was a beautiful part of Vrindavan filled with trees bearing delicious fruit. One day, the boys decided to go to Talavana. So, led by Krishna and his elder brother, the mighty Balram, they entered Talavana. But the place was haunted by a very powerful asura called Dhenukasura, who had assumed the shape of a giant donkey. Balram, holding the trunk of one of the trees, began shaking it with so much strength that it quivered from top to bottom and the fruit started falling with great thuds. Hearing the thud of the fruits falling, Dhenukasura came running toward him. The ground shook and the mighty hooves thundered as he came galloping at great speed. Then he turned around and started kicking Balram on his chest. Balram did not even seem to feel the mighty kicks of this donkey-like asura. Balram lifted him by his hind legs and started swinging him round and round at great speed with great force. Then flung Dhenukasura's body on top of a huge tree. Soon the evil asura who had been haunting Talavana was destroyed, and peace and harmony reigned supreme in the whole of Vrindavan. The exploits of Krishna and Balram would reach the ears of Kamsa from time to time. He was getting worried as to how to kill the two brothers.
I should separate the two brothers. In this way, the strength of Krishna would be halved, and my demons would be able to overcome him easily.
Thinking of this, he summoned one of his powerful demons named Pralam and ordered him,
Pralam, go to Vrindavan and abduct Balram. This will decrease the strength of Krishna, and we shall easily defeat him then. As you order, Your Majesty.
When Pralam reached Vrindavan, he saw Krishna playing with his friends. He turned himself into a cowherd and mingled with the other boys. But Krishna took notice of him. At once, Krishna devised a plan to kill him.
Let's play a new game. We will make two teams. There would be a leader of each team. The losing side will have to carry the winners on their shoulders.
Everyone was eager to play the new game. Krishna divided all the boys into two teams and made sure the demon was in his team. Balram led one team and Krishna the other. Krishna's team lost the game, and so they had to carry the members of Balram's team on their shoulders. The demon Pralamb, who was in guise, carried Balram on his shoulders. When he saw that no one was observing him, he ran away with Balram on his back to a distant place. Without wasting a moment, Pralamb resumed his real form. Balram folded his fist tight and hit the demon hard on the head. It was such a powerful blow that it broke the head of the demon and he fell down dead. Hearing the sound, Krishna and the others went to the spot and Krishna embraced Balram and said,
Well done, brother. Fortunately, you have killed the demon.
In Vrindavan, Krishna planned to go for a picnic in the forest. So Krishna organized a small meeting with his friends.
Why don't we picnic in the pastures today? It would be great fun. But with all the dangerous creatures around the forest, we can't take care of our herds properly there.
Don't be afraid. Why should we fear when Krishna is with us? Let us enjoy our day as per Krishna's plan.
With Krishna as their leader playing the flute, all the other boys followed him with slings, sticks, horns and pots of curd and rice. Agasur, the brother of Putana and Bakasur, he decided to transform himself into a huge python and lay in the path of the herd. He opened his mouth, which presented the appearance of a big cave, with his lower lip touching the earth and the upper lip touching the sky. The boys mistook it as a very big cave in the forest and entered the cave laughing loudly and clapping their hands. Krishna very well knew that it was a real python and that it was sure death to enter the mouth of the creature. The python patiently waited for Krishna to enter. Krishna entered slowly into the mouth of the python. It closed its mouth and was about to swallow them. Now everyone realized it was a living python and they all became scared. Krishna acted fast and walked straight up to the throat and began to expand his body.
Now, everybody, run out of its mouth.
When Krishna made sure that every one of them had passed, Krishna increased his stature a little bit more. The python gasped its last breath and died.
Krishna Krishna, Krishna.
News of the death of the terrible Bakasur spread far and wide. Kamsa was filled with anger on hearing that Bakasur had also been slain by Krishna.
How can that little boy destroy every Asura I sent? I cannot believe this. Is there no Asura left on earth who can destroy this child?
Narayana, 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 Narayana. Kamsa, I know everything about how you tried to kill Krishna and Balram and what the result was. Your death is really approaching near. You must do something to kill Krishna. Krishna is strong enough and is thirsting for revenge against you along with his brother Balram.
Yes, and I plotted a lot of plans to destroy him, all in vain.
Instead of sending each demon to kill him, why don't you arrange some event and invite him to your place and finish him?
Ah, Narada, this is the most wonderful idea. I will arrange it immediately.
Narayana, Narayana. My work here is done.
Saying so, Sage Narada went with a huge smile on his face. After Sage Narada's departure, Kamsa planned to hold a Dhanur Yajna and invite the brothers for the festivities where he planned to kill the two brothers with professional wrestlers. Kamsa called Mushtik and Chanur. They were the best wrestlers in his kingdom and said to them,
Mushtik and Chanur, I'm sure you know that it has been prophesied that Krishna will be the one who would kill me. I've decided to invite him on the occasion of Dhanur Yajna and kill him along with his brother Balram.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
Oh, Mahut! You must station our mighty elephant Kuvalaya Bead at the gate of the arena and provoke the elephant to crush them as they enter the gate.
Yes, Your Majesty.
My dear friend, please go to Vrindavan and invite my nephews Krishna and Balram on my behalf and bring them back with you. I will get them trampled under the mighty feet of Kuvalaya Bead as soon as they arrive here. If they still remain alive, my huge wrestlers will surely kill them.
Dear Kamsa, as a subject to our kingdom, I shall carry out your command. But you're following the way of injustice only to save your own life. But don't worry, I will surely go to Vrindavan and will bring Krishna and Balram to Mathura.
Saying so, Akrur left for Vrindavan. Once he reached the house of Nandagopal, his mind filled with thoughts of Krishna. He saw Balram and Krishna playing in the courtyard. Akrur's joy knew no bounds.
I am here to invite you for Dhanur Yajna and a wrestling match arranged by Kamsa. He is planning to kill both of you in the wrestling match. I have been asked to take both of you in my chariot.
We are eagerly waiting for the right time to meet our uncle. This is a nice opportunity to meet him and settle things.
The next day, Krishna and Balram set off to Mathura to meet Kamsa. Yashoda bid him a tearful farewell. Before sunset, Akrur, Krishna and Balram reached Mathura. The next day, the streets were decorated beautifully with flowers for the Dhanur Yajna. There was a festive mood in the whole of Mathura. People wore new clothes and set off for the palace where various activities were to be held. At the entrance gate, the big male elephant named Kuvalaya had already been stationed. The Mahout then deliberately blocked their entrance. Krishna thundered at the Mahout.
Oh, Mahout, do not block the way with your elephant. We want to go in. If you do not make way, you and your elephant will be killed.
The Mahout poked Kuvalayappi to attack Krishna. The elephant caught Krishna by its trunk, but Krishna cleverly slipped out of its grasp. He gave a mighty blow on its forehead and hid himself between its legs. Krishna ran behind the elephant and caught its tail. He began to pull it, and Tusker could do nothing but scream out in pain. Then he caught hold of its tusk and flung it to the ground. Krishna and Balram broke one tusk each and with it struck Kuvalayappi. All was now set for the wrestling match. Krishna and Balram entered the arena.
Both of you are welcome. We have heard of your past achievements. King Kamsa wants to see your strength, and that's why you have been invited to Mathura to have a duel against us.
We shall always do what's pleasing to the king. But we're only boys. How can we fight against the best wrestlers of the world?
You are no more kids. Just now you killed the mighty Kuvalayappi. You are undoubtedly qualified to wrestle with strong opponents. Now come and test your strength with me. Let Balram fight Mustik.
Krishna and Balram exchanged glances and smiled. Krishna decided to kill Chanura. Krishna lifted Chanura high above his head and whirled him round and round until the wrestler fell dead, striking the earth with his body. The citizens of Mathura roared with joy. Krishna and Balram were now looked on as saviors. When Kamsa saw his strongest wrestlers killed in the hands of Krishna and Balram, he could no longer control his anger.
Stop this noise at once! Drive these boys out of Mathura! Kill Vasudev, Devaki and my father Ugrasen!
Kamsa, for many years, the earth has been burdened by your sins. You have been completely arrogant and unrepentant. You imprisoned your own father and younger sister. You murdered 7 newborn babies just to make sure that you would live to do more evil. From the day I was born, you have tried to kill me in so many ways. At last, you thought that getting me here would be the best way to get rid of me. But you were wrong, Kamsa. This was how you were to receive your own death. Now, I stand before you. That means your time to die has come.
That was the end of Kamsa. Krishna and Balram went straight to the prison to release Vasudeva and Devaki. Vasudeva and Devaki were pleased to see their sons. Just as the celestial voice, the Akashavani, had foretold, Krishna came and destroyed the evil Kamsa and paved the way for good to rule the world again. But this was not all. In the years to come, Krishna had many more things to accomplish during his mortal life on earth.